Humans are social creatures. We crave belonging. This inherent need to be part of a group is deeply rooted in our evolutionary history. From the earliest days of human existence, being part of a community meant safety, shared resources, and collective wisdom. It is within these groups that we find our identity and sense of purpose. We naturally fear the unknown. This fear is a survival mechanism, an instinct that has kept our ancestors safe from potential threats lurking in the shadows. The unknown represents uncertainty, and with uncertainty comes the potential for danger. This primal fear can manifest in various ways, from a simple hesitation to explore new territories, to a deep-seated anxiety about unfamiliar cultures and people. This fear of the other often manifests as prejudice against different cultures. When we encounter customs, languages, and traditions that differ from our own, it can be unsettling. Instead of seeking to understand, we sometimes resort to stereotypes and misconceptions. This can lead to a cycle of misunderstanding and mistrust, where the unfamiliar is viewed with suspicion and hostility. Throughout history, certain tribes have been labeled as terrifying due to their unfamiliar customs and practices. These labels were often imposed by more dominant cultures that did not take the time to understand the rich and complex traditions of these tribes. Instead, they focused on the aspects that seemed strange or threatening, creating a narrative of fear and danger. These tribes, often living on the fringes of powerful empires, developed unique ways of life that were both fascinating and formidable. Their isolation allowed them to preserve their traditions and develop distinct cultural identities. However, this same isolation also made them targets for conquest and exploitation by more powerful neighbors. This essay will explore 3 such tribes: the Scythians, the Comanche, and the Asmat. Each of these tribes has a unique story to tell, filled with rich cultural practices, resilience, and a deep connection to their land and heritage. By examining their histories, we can gain insight into the diverse ways humans have adapted to their environments and the challenges they have faced. We will delve into their cultures, rituals, and the reasons behind their fearsome reputations. The Scythians, known for their prowess as horsemen and warriors, the Comanche, who were fierce defenders of their territory, and the Asmat, whose intricate rituals and art have fascinated anthropologists for decades. Each tribe offers a unique perspective on what it means to be human and how fear can shape our interactions with the world. By understanding these terrifying tribes, we can gain a deeper understanding of human adaptability, resilience, and the complex relationship between fear and the other. Their stories are not just about survival, but about thriving in the face of adversity. They teach us that fear, while a natural response, can be overcome through knowledge, empathy, and a willingness to see beyond the surface. Their stories challenge our preconceptions and remind us that what we perceive as terrifying often stems from a lack of understanding. By listening to their voices and learning about their ways of life, we can break down the barriers of fear and prejudice. We can begin to see the beauty and wisdom in their traditions and recognize the common humanity that binds us all. By exploring the lives of these tribes, we can learn valuable lessons about cultural diversity, human nature, and our place in the tapestry of history. Their resilience and adaptability offer a powerful reminder of the strength of the human spirit. In a world that is increasingly interconnected, understanding and appreciating the richness of different cultures is more important than ever. It is through this understanding that we can build a more inclusive and compassionate world. The Eurasian steppe, a vast expanse of grassland stretching from Eastern Europe to Mongolia, was home to the Scythians. These nomadic warriors dominated the region from the 8th to the 4th century BC. Feared for their equestrian skills and military prowess, the Scythians were masters of mounted warfare. They were expert archers, using composite bows to rain arrows on their enemies from horseback. Their mobility and ferocity made them a formidable force, even challenging the mighty Persian Empire. The Greeks, who both traded with and feared the Scythians, wrote extensively about their customs and appearance. Scythian society was deeply intertwined with horses. They were not only essential for warfare but also played a central role in their nomadic lifestyle and rituals. Horses represented status and wealth, and their sacrifice was a key element in Scythian religious practices. The Scythians were renowned for their brutality in battle. These fierce nomadic warriors roamed the vast Eurasian steppes, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies with their swift and ruthless tactics. Their expertise in mounted warfare and archery made them formidable opponents, capable of launching devastating raids and ambushes. They were known to scalp their enemies and drink their blood from the skulls of their victims. This gruesome practice was not merely an act of savagery but a deeply ingrained ritual that symbolized their dominance and victory over their foes. The Scythians believed that by consuming the blood of their enemies, they could absorb their strength and valor, thus becoming even more powerful in battle. These practices, while gruesome to outsiders, held deep cultural and religious significance for the Scythians. Their rituals were a way to honor their gods and ancestors, seeking their favor and protection in their relentless pursuit of conquest. The Scythians' spiritual beliefs were intertwined with their martial traditions, creating a unique warrior culture that revered both the physical and the metaphysical aspects of life. They believed that consuming the blood of their enemies would imbue them with their strength and courage. This act was seen as a sacred communion with the spirits of the fallen, a way to harness their energy and ensure the continued success of the tribe. The Scythians' rituals were elaborate and meticulously performed, reflecting their deep respect for the power of the supernatural. Scythian art, often found adorning their weapons and jewelry, depicted scenes of battle, animal combat, and mythological creatures. These intricate designs were not only decorative but also served as talismans, believed to offer protection and strength to the wearer. The Scythians' artistic expressions were a testament to their rich cultural heritage and their connection to the natural and spiritual worlds. These intricate designs provide a glimpse into their beliefs and worldview. The motifs and symbols used in Scythian art were deeply symbolic, often representing the eternal struggle between good and evil, life and death. Through their art, the Scythians communicated their values, their history, and their aspirations, leaving behind a legacy that continues to fascinate historians and archaeologists. The Scythians also practiced elaborate burial rituals. These ceremonies were grand affairs, reflecting the importance of the deceased within the tribe. High-ranking warriors and chieftains were given particularly lavish burials, complete with intricate rites and offerings to ensure their safe passage to the afterlife. High-ranking warriors were buried with their horses, weapons, and other valuable possessions in massive burial mounds called kurgans. These kurgans were monumental structures, built to honor the dead and to serve as eternal resting places for the tribe's most esteemed members. The inclusion of horses and weapons in the burials underscored the Scythians' belief in the continuation of their warrior lifestyle in the afterlife. These kurgans, scattered across the Eurasian steppe, serve as testaments to the power and influence of the Scythian civilization. They stand as silent witnesses to a bygone era, offering valuable insights into the social structure, religious beliefs, and daily life of the Scythians. The sheer scale and complexity of these burial mounds reflect the Scythians' engineering prowess and their reverence for their ancestors. The gold and silver artifacts found within these tombs reveal their mastery of metalworking and their sophisticated artistic sensibilities. These treasures, often intricately crafted and adorned with elaborate designs, highlight the Scythians' skill and creativity. The artifacts not only served as symbols of wealth and status, but also played a crucial role in their religious and cultural practices, embodying the essence of Scythian identity and heritage. Section 4. The Comanche Masters of the Southern Plains. Centuries later, and continents away, another formidable tribe emerged on the North American Great Plains. The Comanche, originally a branch of the Shoshone people, migrated southwards in the 17th century. They adopted the horse, which had been introduced to the Americas by the Spanish, and quickly mastered its use. This mastery of horsemanship transformed the Comanche into fierce warriors and hunters. They became the dominant tribe on the southern plains, controlling a vast territory that spanned parts of present-day Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, New Mexico, and Colorado. The Comanche were renowned for their raiding skills and their ability to cover vast distances on horseback. They were a decentralized society, organized into loosely affiliated bands led by respected warriors. Their nomadic lifestyle revolved around hunting bison, which provided them with food, clothing, shelter, and tools. Section 5. Comanche Raiding and Spiritual Beliefs. The Comanche were feared for their lightning-fast raids on enemy settlements. These raids were meticulously planned and executed with precision, often catching their enemies completely off guard. They would strike without warning, driving off horses and captives and disappearing into the vastness of the plains before their enemies could react. The Comanche's intimate knowledge of the terrain allowed them to vanish as quickly as they appeared, making them elusive and formidable opponents. These raids were not only a means of acquiring wealth and resources, but also served as a rite of passage for young warriors. Participating in a successful raid was a crucial step in a young Comanche's journey to adulthood, marking their transition from youth to warrior. Courage in battle was highly valued in Comanche society, and successful raids brought prestige and honor. Warriors who demonstrated exceptional bravery and skill were celebrated and often held in high regard within the tribe. The Comanche believed in a spiritual world inhabited by powerful spirits. These spirits were thought to influence every aspect of life, from the success of a raid to the health and well-being of the tribe. Medicine men played a crucial role in their society, acting as intermediaries between the physical and spiritual realms. They were highly respected figures who possessed deep knowledge of herbal medicine, spiritual rituals, and the art of healing. They conducted healing ceremonies, interpreted dreams, and sought guidance from the spirits. These ceremonies were often elaborate and involved various rituals designed to appease the spirits and ensure their favor. The Comanche also had a strong belief in individual autonomy and freedom. Each member of the tribe was expected to contribute to the community while also maintaining their personal independence. Their social structure was relatively egalitarian, with decisions often made through consensus rather than by decree. Tribal councils would gather to discuss important matters, and every voice had the opportunity to be heard. They valued bravery, generosity, and self-reliance. Acts of courage and kindness were highly esteemed, and individuals who demonstrated these qualities were admired and respected by their peers. Daily life in a Comanche village was a blend of communal activities and individual pursuits. Men and women had distinct roles, but both were essential to the tribe's survival and prosperity. Women were primarily responsible for gathering food, preparing meals, and taking care of the children, while men focused on hunting, raiding, and protecting the tribe. Children were taught the ways of the Comanche from a young age, learning skills and traditions through stories and hands-on experience. Elders played a vital role in passing down knowledge and ensuring the continuity of their cultural heritage. The Comanche were also skilled artisans, creating beautiful and functional items such as clothing, tools, and weapons. Their craftsmanship reflected their deep connection to their environment and their resourcefulness in using available materials. The vast plains that the Comanche called home were not just a backdrop for their lives but an integral part of their identity. The land provided everything they needed, from food and shelter to spiritual inspiration. The Comanche's way of life, deeply rooted in their spiritual beliefs and cultural practices, exemplified a profound connection to the land and a fierce commitment to their freedom and autonomy. Their legacy continues to inspire and resonate with those who seek to understand the rich tapestry of Native American history.